Okay, it's time to set fire to your trousers because there's a new car for Assetto Corsa, produced by the Formula Corsa modding team, FCM, a GP2 2014 season GP2 car. And it's an absolute beast. So much of a beast that I've been eating a banana to try and keep my brain nice and fresh so I don't keep losing control of the car. It's not helping so far, but when the chemicals and the potassium settles in, I'm sure it will do. Now, the Formula Corsa modding team are looking for 3D artists, texture artists, audio artists, physics experts, and anyone that wants to help out with them. And I believe, based off their name, they're actually wanting to make a whole bunch of Formula Car mods. Now, I've just done 2 or 3 laps, and as I say, it's an absolute beast of a car. But I'm going to jump in now and talk about how it handles, how it sounds, and all that general business that I generally do when I make a video of a car. So, here we are in Assetto Corsa. Go, 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 green light. In fact, there's no green lights because it's hot lap mode. Better turn the volume down so I can hear myself think. Bite of the banana. Oh, very good. Sorry about the eating sounds. It's 1 in the morning. They literally just released this an hour ago. And I love Formula cars, so I had to jump out of bed and get in and try it. That's dedication for you. Now, in the 2 laps I've done already, the engine sounds really nice. It's not the best sounding car, but you know, it sounds absolutely fine. Sim cars often don't sound amazing. It sounds really good. It's on a par with the other cars in the game. Handling wise, it's an absolute beast. Now, bearing in mind the 2014 GP2 cars in real life are basically the same speed as the F1 cars at the lower end of the grid, so I don't know, I guess Caterham, Marussia maybe. I don't know. The slower cars in F1 are about, or do lap times about the same. Now, personally, I actually watch and prefer GP2 over F1. They're far more interesting to watch the racing because everyone's driving closer cars, it's more similar cars, and everyone's desperate to get a race seat in an F1 car, so they do far more aggressive and interesting passes, and then they reverse the grid as well and do 2 races. But anyway, that's real life. As for this mod, the car, as I say, is a beast. You really have to be careful on the accelerator because if you stick your foot on the accelerator at the wrong time, the back end's coming around and it's really snappy and hard to catch. But there's still a degree of there's still a progressive nature to it, so you can catch it and you can balance it. But out of all the cars, even official in Assetto Corsa, I think this is the hardest car at the moment in terms of balancing on the throttle and catching it when you make a dog's dinner of it. It's also really, really, really easy to accidentally lock your wheels up, and at low speed the car's really unstable as well, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's just if you've been playing the GT3 cars a lot online, such as myself, because that's what a lot of the public servers have been running, then you've probably got a bit sloppy on your accelerator and brake habits, and this car's going to slap you in the face like a sack full of wet sardines, and it's not going to smell nice. But it's really rewarding when you do drive it smooth, and it's pretty much the embodiment of what I look for in a sim car. Good, harsh punishment, but responsive, agile, direct. It's got it all. Now, the only thing that, with this car at the moment that I dislike, based off 5 laps, so, and it might be how the real car handles as well, you can get a little bit locked into slides at low speed where you can't regain control of the car. A bit R-Factor 1-y in some ways, but if you actually drive within the limit and don't throw the car too much, that doesn't happen. As I say, that might actually be a realistic characteristic of the real car. I don't know. So, other than that, and oh yeah, the car model I think could be a little bit better. But this is, as I say, it's an early launch of the mod. Recording issue. It's fantastic. I mean, in terms of the actual physics and the handling, after 5 laps, I'm having a blast. And it actually is really reminiscent of the F1 cars in Ferrari Virtual Academy, which I believe uses a sort of updated version of Netcar Pro. It has a bit of that feel to it. Now I can't imagine racing this on a public server because everyone's going to be flying off the track everywhere. But if you've got a bunch of friends that can handle it and you do a little bit of practice, this will be loads of fun. You really do need to concentrate with this. If you dab the brake as you're going around the corner, it has a habit of sliding, which again might be the characteristic of the real car, and it's something you can work around or learn around quite easily. I've developed this bad habit of dabbing the brake to get the car to turn in the corner from the GT3 cars. Generally, I'm probably losing time by doing that instead of knocking the car in properly at the start, or taking the proper racing line, but I like to be lazy sometimes. Now, I'm not sure if this should stick to the road a little bit more at higher speeds, but that could just be an aero setting. I'm running default, everything on default with this, so it's got all the options obviously, so you can have more downforce. But crucially, at the basic fundamental level, it feels really good, and it's surprising now that we've got two sort of okayed mods by the developer that aren't just conversions, actual original mods for Assetto Corsa. I've already forgotten the name of the other one, but we've got two mods now that are beta mods, and they're absolutely fantastic. I mean, to me, this car feels like it's on a par with the Formula Sim Racing cars you used to get for R Factor, if not better, because personally, well, better for me because personally I really love the feel, the force feedback, and the nature of the handling in Assetto Corsa. But again, this has a really GameStop car feeling to this mod. Actually, it's just progressive. You get that progressive amount of slip. You can generally tell what the car's going to do before it does it in many ways, and you can react to it and collect it. And crucially, you can make a little bit of a mistake and recover it. And whether that mistake's by accident because you're a bad driver, such as myself, or the mistake isn't a mistake, but you put the car into a bit of a situation for the purpose of, say, overtaking someone or just doing something unconventional that's beneficial in a race context, the car lets you do stuff like that, which to me is absolutely crucial for enjoyable sim racing. And this feels as if it's got that give to it. And this is going to be an absolute beast of a car to do decent laps in. You really are going to have to hit the brake point spot on and hit the brakes spot on to the point where they don't lock up. I think people that have pedals like the Club Sports or even proper sim pedals which allow you to stamp on them, this is the sort of car where you're really going to notice the benefit of them. If you're using old school G25s without any mods or anything, then I think it's very easy to lock the brakes up and can make this sort of car even harder than it has to be to drive, especially when it comes to hitting the brake points. But absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited. Every time I play Assetto Corsa, that's not how you say that corner. Every time I play it with new cars, it's just fun. It's just pure enjoyment when it comes to driving. I'm going to do one more clean lap, well, vaguely clean lap, because this is the sort of car where, personally, I have to put probably about 2.5 hours into a single track with this car to get anywhere close to decent. But I'm going to do one more vaguely clean lap, and then I'm going to do a lap of Shenanigans. See what the car lets me get away with. Intuitively, I feel like this car should have a tiny bit more grip in certain situations, but as I say, I've never driven a GP2 car, apart from owning 6 of them because I'm that rich. I've never driven one. I just keep them in the garage to look at. I just intuitively feel it'd have a little bit more grip, but I mean, it could be set up, it could be that they're still doing stuff to the mod, it could be that actually the GP2 cars don't have as much grip as I think they would. Which is entirely possible. If you watch GP2 on TV, you see they do actually slide around quite a lot. and that in many ways that's what makes GP2 more exciting to watch than F1. Certainly last year. F1's improved a bit with the car handling this year, I think. Oh no, I've said the word F1, they're going to come after me. They're probably tracking me. They use the NSA data centre to do a copyright infringement trap on me. Right, let's do a silly lap, because that lap was not very good, so let's see what I can get away with. Right, you put the power on. See, it's really controllable if you're fast. Oh dear, driving into the wall. That would have cost a couple £100,000. Just doing some low speed burnouts to see what sort of... I mean, it's very much like the Lotus in Assetto Corsa in terms of that controllability when you're actually in a slide. If you spin up the rears there, it will keep going, and you will have to wait for the back end to come back to you. If you're dabbing on the brake as well, it's making the car slide out a bit. See, there when I dabbed the brake, it got locked into a bit of an understeer, which might be totally normal. I mean, if you're driving a GP2 car as I'm driving it right now, then you're going to be in for a bad time. But if you catch it, you can get away with it. So it's not like if you were driving really properly and something caught you off guard, I don't know, someone pulled out in front of you in a silly way, you need to make a certain move, or you just completely messed up your brake point, lock wheels or something, there is a zone of recovery to it. So I don't think you're going to be in a position where something absolutely bizarre happens and it just throws you off the track and that's it, race over, which I absolutely detest in driving simulators. It used to happen all the time in Assetto 1. Oh, there you go. At higher speeds, maybe it's because of the aero, the car becomes a lot more unstable, which is neither a good or bad thing. I think that's probably how the car would be. Absolutely fantastic. Unsurprisingly, you can't really drift a GP2 car. You wouldn't expect to be able to too much though, other than powering out of corners. And well, you can drift it a little bit actually. I really need to go through the force feedback settings, because in Assetto Corsa, some cars benefit with the G25 at least. Some cars benefit with the force feedback effects, like the slip effect being put on. Other cars don't benefit with it at all, and it kind of throws you off. So it's worth trying those different settings. But if driving this cleanly, it seems really good. I think I've got the slip effect on about 60%, and I find that often gives me a lot more feel as to the weighting of the car and the loading to avoid accidentally sliding. Again, this would be absolutely incredible to play with a servo wheel. You can feel the bumps of the track through the G25, and on a G25, because it's so weak, you just feel these little bumps. But if you were using a servo wheel, the wheel would be wrenching your hands left and right. It'd just be amazing. And of course, you'd be able to feel the loading far better. Come on, Sim Experience, release your sim wheel. Q4 2014 supposedly, that they're putting their sim Experience servo wheel on the market for around $2,000. Maybe I'll be able to find the money for it and hide it from the girlfriend. Oh yes, I just spent $2,000 on a steering wheel for a computer game. No problem. I tell you what, this car on Monaco and just city tracks be absolutely awesome. If you like sim racing, you'd be absolutely mental to dislike this car or this type of car. It's the pure embodiment of a racing car. It's fast, responsive. As I say, it smacks you in the balls if you take the piss with it, but it has a degree of depth to it. Absolutely incredible. So download this right away. It's free. Another freebie from the Land of Sim Racing. I've forgotten the name of the mod team already. I'll put it in the comments below the video. I'm starting to like this car more and more each lap I do. Incredible. I'm going to stop now, otherwise this video will go on forever and YouTube will run out of bandwidth. Amazing. As I say, download links in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more, subscribe, like. Also, tell me what you'd like to see in the comments. Thanks for watching and goodbye.